If you had a crush on a friend who just got out of a relationship, would you make a move? I'm so excited to get into today's dating dilemma. I'm Talia. Welcome back to Dating Intentionally. I'm loving this series where I get to answer more of your questions here, not just on the podcast, which, by the way, you can listen to on any podcast platform. If you have a dating dilemma you want some clarity on, you can submit it anonymously in the form below. Here we go. So, a friend of mine, 27 male, got out of a dysfunctional long term relationship a few months ago. We are part of the same friend group, and in these last few months, it's been great as he's been able to hang out with us more, and he's definitely become one of my closer friends. I, 25 female, have always thought he was attractive, but as we become closer the last few months, I started getting feelings. He is just the kindest, loveliest guy I've ever met, and I think we would be really good together. He's mentioned he doesn't see himself getting into another relationship for at least a year, and he wants to take time to date and get back out there again. I also don't want to jump the gun when he's still in a vulnerable place. However, I don't want to let a potentially great connection escape and suffer an unfulfilled crush. What advice do you have for me, and how long should I wait to potentially make a move? Okay, sound off in the comments. What would you do in this situation? There's a person in your life who you think is really great, who you think you could date, and they just got out of a relationship. When do you make a move? Do you make a move at all? I'm team shoot your shot here. Even though you have talked to him about a situation and you don't know everything running through his mind, and I don't want you to let these assumptions hold you back. If I were in your shoes, I would try sending a flirty text, try to flirt with him in person, or just straight up ask him on a date. The worst that can happen is that he says no or he's not ready. And then you don't have to live the rest of your life wondering what could have happened if you had the courage to make a move. I know you might be concerned that if you make a move and he rejects you or something happens, you risk ruining the friendship. I like to believe that you and the other person involved are mature enough to get through that brief awkwardness. Or you might find that they were never actually the good friend you thought they were. I think it's absolutely possible to bounce back after a rejection or some kind of situation where you express romantic interest in someone, they don't return it, but then you can continue being friends. It might feel a little weird, but that weirdness kind of dissipates and you just carry on with the friendship. The other thing I want to remind you is that just because you express interest, that doesn't mean you're going to get into a relationship. You could end up going on a date and realizing that you're not as into him as you thought. Or you could find some other reason that you're just not a match. So why not make a move and just see what happens? I also don't believe in such a thing as right person, wrong time. Like, if the person is right, the timing will be right. If the timing is off, that's okay. They weren't your person. I also don't believe in that idea of the one who got away because trust me, your person, the person you're actually meant to be with, isn't going to slip away. In terms of how long to wait to make a move, well, with the holidays coming up, I couldn't think of a better time. You know that quote from Love Actually? At Christmas, you tell the truth. I would ask him out for a drink between Christmas and New Year's if you're both in town, or if you're both at a friend gathering this month, that's a great time to test the waters with flirting. See what happens, see how he reacts, and go from there. Lower the stakes. Don't put this guy on a pedestal, and remember that you don't need this one to work out. So, what do you think? What would you do in this situation? Do you agree with my advice? Share below. Thank you again for tuning in and sharing your time with me today. Don't forget, if you have your own dating dilemma and want my take, you can submit it anonymously in the link below. And if you found this video helpful, you can give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more dating advice every week. And of course, don't miss the podcast for deeper dives into topics just like this. It's available on all major platforms and it's called Dating Intentionally. Until next time, remember that you're not going to know what could happen if you don't shoot your shot.